Preview. Preview.
Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I'm here with Joe. How you doing, Joe?
I'm all right, Perch. How are you?
I think we're going to have fun today. So
Excellent.
it's a new year. I hope you're having a good start to the new year.
So
we
far.
haven't gotten on yet.
Yeah.
Back to reviewing comics, right? Which
Yes.
we both love. Okay.
Absolutely.
And what better place to go than Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, issue number 103 from 1970.
Oh, yes, by the wonderful Bob Kanigher, who was a Golden Age writer who revitalized and helped start the Silver Age by ushering in a new Flash and updating Wonder Woman for the Silver Age of comics. But here it's the 70s, and Lois is gonna marry a demon, maybe.
So what drew you to this comic? Like you reached out, said, "Oh, we've got to talk about this." What was it that captured your imagination for this one?
So I was going through back issues at a comic shop, and this cover really popped out to me because it's insane.
So it's a lot of things are happening on this cover.
Yeah, no, you get old Superman here saying "Shades of Satan." So already I'm on board, but Shades of Satan. Lois is turned into a demon, and look whom she's marrying.
Yeah.
And then the demon there, and mind you, this is a comic book. However, and you have a certain budget, you could do all sorts of things. This demon and Lois look like they just went to like a costume shop to get those costumes, but also they have hooved feet.
Right, and tails.
Yeah, and they got the horns there, and it's by the infernal powers of Hades, I take you, Lois, as my wife. And there's there's mist all over the place, but there's also like 3 other Satans in the background watching as another Satan is reading the vows off of a scroll.
They all look happy. The little audience there watching the wedding, they seem very pleased for the couple.
Yeah, and then the way over the top, was it logo lettering at the bottom for the Devil's Bride, and every part of the word has a fork in it.
Yeah. Little flame on the eye there. There's a lot going on with this. Lois looks relatively happy. You're right. That belt looks like this costume could be a devil's costume, or if dyed green, could be a Robin Hood costume.
Absolutely. They got these nice like little, they got the collars, but they also have, it's like tied. Again, it just looks like such a cheap costume.
Well, you open this up and the costume gets a little better, I notice. And they like a lot of comics at the time, the splash page was kind of another, it could have been a cover. It's another one of these kind of summaries of the story. And sure enough, it's there is Satan, and he is taking Lois off to consummate their marriage.
Yeah, as Superman is yelling, I'm too late, they're vanishing, I've lost Lois forever.
Yeah.
And then we get less insane lettering for the Devil's Bride below that. But yeah, it's all this about Lois Lane has had many suitors, and wealthy, handsome men of many lands.
She gets around.
So what they're trying to say is Lois Lane is a whore.
That's exactly what they're saying.
And then even men of other worlds and times. I mean, we know that Superman's from another world.
But she's slept her way through history. They're telling us.
Yeah, and none have been able to take her away from Superman until now. I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty sure
that's pretty much every issue.
Yeah, I was going to say in the previous 102 issues, And we're not even counting, World's Finest and all these other things where she might appear in. Yeah, it's like, I don't know about that, but yeah, then that's to defeat the satanic swain who comes to claim the girl reporter. But like here's the old timey
He's a
sort
big fan.
of
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like here's the old timey early 70s sort of sexism here. Why girl reporter? Can't you just call her a reporter?
She's not good enough to be a reporter.
It's
She's a
true.
girl reporter.
Yeah, because it sounds like she reports on girls.
That's how she got popular. That's why so many people are a big fan.
Yeah.
You remember back, by the way, and it wasn't back that far, but what I find funny right now is so many people complain about bisexual women in comics and this other kind of stuff. But if you go back to like the 90s, lots of people were into bisexual women in comics. Like that was a selling point.
Oh,
I remember Wildstorm used to do some of the swimsuit covers. Like these two ladies are getting together, and it's like it was a big. People were very excited by that. But it's funny what 20 years can do.
Absolutely, and in this case, it's funny what over 50 years can do.
Yeah, that's fair. So anyway, I took us on a weird detour.
Oh, you're right.
Our comic, what I like here is I love the first couple pages of this comic because the comic opens up tortured Superman. He's trying to harness lightning, but he's slain a human being. So they're taking us on a journey here. He basically he gets his lightning under control, but he's killed somebody. Who is it? It's Lois, and they fly in. And what cracks me up here is there is this weird little stone here that dead Lois is laying on. They've got torches, tigers, and Lana. Like what? How in the world did we get here? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why Lana's there.
Yeah, but she's just hanging out with these tigers. The tigers seem very relaxed, and then Superman comes back because he's still tortured of the fact that he killed Lois, and then he gives her a ring to her corpse. That seems weird.
It does. However, by the time you get to like page 4, like panel 2,
yeah,
Superman has never looked more haggard.
He does. He's got forehead wrinkles there. He's sweating. He looks like he's got some of the. He doesn't look happy. And
no.
He goes through his whole vows and then gives her the ring like she's talking. And even Lana's like, he's breaking up here. He seems crazy. He gives her the ring. Superman's gone out of his mind with grief and guilt. He's breaking my heart. He in effect marries this corpse. But then it's the third panel that cracks me up the most. It's like, he just flies off. And this is what I love is this. It's a single sentence. I'll never forget what I did. Meanwhile, life goes on. I love the simultaneous. He's tortured. They're still drawing him like he's tortured. I'll spend the rest of my days trying to pay for my crime. Farewell, Lana. But I love that. Meanwhile, life goes on.
Yeah. Also, like, if you're gonna go right in the meanwhile life goes on, why aren't you just like, hey, Lana?
Yeah.
I guess you really are the one for me. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, redheads win. That's what Brian would say. But
yes,
this whole thing happens very quickly, and then this Raja Satdev comes to perform sacred rites and basically brings her back to life and gives her horns. Like,
we don't know who he is, why he's there.
Yeah, he just shows up.
Yeah.
He owns the tigers, apparently. That explains why they were laying around. But again, weird. He shows up. He brings her back to life. She now has devil horns. And I like, again, Lana's doing the voiceover for the reader. Your head, you have horns, the horns of a devil. Oh, and also a moment ago, you were dead. What happened? I love just how everybody in this comic is off the rails.
Oh, yeah.
And we get a pretty long flashback from the previous issue.
Yes.
And it's complete with like, it's really kind of fulfilling this Lois Lane sleeps her way around the world. So she's gone to some beach here, and this guy invites her for a swim at his estate, and she suspects he's got cloven hooves. And in the comic, there's this whole thing where he uses his magic to get rid of the hooves and everything else. And he basically is watching this guy drink in this flashback, and then he passes out, and she's like, I wonder what this secret drink is. It's a secret elixir that is strictly forbidden to everybody but me. But Lois, being Lois, immediately, like as soon as he falls asleep, drinks it and then grows horns. But what is going on here, Joe?
Well, not to spoil too much here, but the logic here is that this is an elixir for aliens.
Wait, not Satan?
Not Satan.
Bait and switch cover, even back in the 70s.
Yeah, no, you're not getting legit Satans here.
Yeah. They finally reveal how she died. I mean, if you read the previous issue, you saw it too. But basically, the alien sat dev shoots lightning at Superman. He's protecting Lana, and the lightning bounces off of him and kills Lois, but not really. And that's effectively how he killed her. I do like how there's lots of images of Lois just laying down, with the skirt just begging for life there.
Yeah, but like there's so many flashbacks here from the previous issue. Like, number one, it makes you think maybe they were in a crunch for time and just needed to whip something together for this. Another thing here, maybe this is what inspired movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, where the first hour is just a recap of the first movie.
All right, I have not heard that movie this week, so thank you for that.
No problem.
So we get some back and forth. You are right. There's an excessive flashback, and then an excessive, like, the tigers suddenly attack, and then Lana has to throw fire at them. But then again, they're going back and forth. She lights all the grass on fire. The tigers run away. Lana's like, crap. Now Lois is in danger again. Superman's flying around, presumably thinking, I should get with Lana. I'm missing my opportunity here. He notices that Lois is alive and standing in flames with a guy in a turban who is the devil.
Yeah, and also, I believe a few pages ago, Superman was saying he had an emergency mission he had to go on, and then he's just like, just on patrol.
Yeah, and using his X-ray vision to spy back on his dead girl reporter. Sorry,
yes,
friend. So anyway, I basically they then proceed to burn down a village. Where are they, by the way? There's like a rustic village here that they're lighting on fire.
That was definitely not there earlier in this issue.
That's just
they were clearly in the middle of nowhere, and now they are next to a village.
So Lois, completely consumed with all this stuff, passes out, and they then teleport. And this is where, you alluded to it earlier, she wakes up and there's a bunch of devils around her, complete with the cheesy costume, tails, horns, and pitchforks. But he explains this guy who is trying to marry, I don't know, saying, it's a space center hospital on my planet Infernio. What then cracks me up more is, despite all this stuff going on, they go and chill out in a living room. Like, Lois is all curled up next to him. They got some fruit there. They're watching TV. They talk about how scientists dressed up in these devil costumes teleported to Earth, and they were attacked by, like, the Romans. Like what is even going on? This is a recap.
Yeah, it is. It's wild.
They watch a lot of TV, and the explorers are beaming back and forth from planet Inferno, And then they've got a magic power ring as well. Like when you think there's enough, there's a magic power ring that goes on. And then what is his plan exactly? He's again there another flashback of the building blowing up and blacking out the city when he was trying to get with Lois and firing Superman. Like, what is this guy's plan exactly? Is it the entire thing to bone Lois? Is that the entire scheme here?
It's got to be, right? Like, but it's weird because it seems like it is, but he gives up very quickly on that.
It's all the entire thing is bizarre. So she doesn't like the horns. Like what's funny is she's been teleported to another planet. She's got the world thinks she's dead. She's been kidnapped by a space group of devils. Her biggest concern though is, can you use this magic ring of yours to get rid of the hooves and the horns?
Yes. While watching the Space Archives teletheater, where I guess she's able to watch all of history ever at once.
and then the ring doesn't work and she's distressed. And she's like, then I'll always look this way as long as I live. Again, she's on another planet, having just revealed that alien devil people have been influencing Earth's history for thousands of years. But she's concerned about that tail poking out of her dress. I also note the devil alien has a disco ball in his room.
He sure does. It's it's that, and then there's he creepily talks about I'll just quote it here. I was watching Earth on space scanners when the monitors locked in on you. I couldn't tear my eyes away. I took televideo shots of you every chance I had.
And these pictures are up on the wall. She seems pleased with this. Like, she does not seem bothered by.
Yeah.
In fact, he's like, hey, you can now only with these horns. The only thing you can do is call Inferno a home. He also reveals that that's why he masqueraded as a Raja with a turban to conceal the horns. So that all I'm saying is that could be why the people wear those turbans. Anyway, she gets pretty happy with it. They go dancing in some kind of steaming pit, but she's still bothered by the horns and the fact that she can't comb her hair over them. That is her biggest. It says days as by day Lois whirls away her hidden sorrow. So she spends days dancing and hanging out in this alien, the steaming geysers and everything else. She then is watching Superman via monitors. And then this is my favorite bit. She takes a bath because her skin is also impervious to heat. So she's bathing in boiled lava or something.
Yeah.
And she's but then she realizes she's got a wedding ring already. When he goes to give her a ring, she realizes, I guess for the first time, she's got a ring.
Yes.
And there's an inscription in it that makes her cry. And suddenly the horns and the tail and the hooves melt away because of the bath.
Yeah, the elixir, because she's not a demon alien, makes it go away, and then the inscription from Superman is what makes her decide she can't go through with it. But the guy gives up, no problem. He's like, all right, fine, you can go back to Earth.
Yeah.
So it seems like she could have asked for that at like any time, but she didn't, because she looked like an alien. Because I'm sure Clark in the Fortress of Solitude doesn't have some sort of weird device that would have MacGuffined her back to Lois. But
well, we see comics where she's regularly like turned into a baby or a centaur or like all kinds of things, and Clark's able to fix those problems. But the horns are just too big a. Yeah. I mean, I Maybe that tale's coming from someplace really weird. She doesn't want Superman to know.
Sure, but she is constantly in these comics crying about how she's been turned into a thing and she'll never change back. You would think after the 100th or so time,
Yeah.
she'd be like, let me hold off a bit before I freak out because I might be able to figure something out. Take a minute.
This is a bizarre story, but I do love it very much.
Oh my god, yeah. And then again, like the reason with the ring, and she's like, I have to go back. I can't marry you. She seems not bothered at all about marrying him until then.
Yeah.
Seems like whatever, fine. But then the inscription is, "I will always love you, Lois, till the end of time, Superman." And it's just like, was that something she didn't think he felt?
She was always wondering during this period of time what was going on in Superman's head, and I guess this was, but she forgets it by the next issue. The thing, I mean, but clearly, since several days went by, she had a lot of sex on Planet Inferno.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot of dancing and the whole impervious to harm thing with her skin. I'm sure they did all sorts of insane things.
Yeah, they were in those guys are shooting things who knows where, but yeah, it's. She sleeps her way through time and galaxies and everything else. But
Yeah.
as crazy as that story is, and that story is absolutely brilliant and hilarious and insane, this actually had a backup featuring wigs.
Yes.
And you like this one as well.
Oh, this is amazing. The fantastic wigs of Mr. Dupree. Because this is the story of wigs of famous people throughout history, because we all know exactly what their hair looked like.
Sure.
Especially in 1970, and choose. You can choose any wig you want, but according to the legendary magic spell, you'll be destined the same fate as the famous person whose wig you're wearing. Now, this is like a cost benefit analysis kind of thing. It's like, on the one hand, I could wear a Cleopatra wig and I'll maybe kind of have some aspect of what Cleopatra might have looked like and no one would know because they'd just be like, oh, you're wearing a wig. And the only downside is a snake will murder me. It's a weird business model.
Well, and the story in general. So Lois goes through several wigs, and not to go through the details of this, but I mean, Supergirl gets involved as well. Like, what do you even do with this story? Like, this is a story about wigs.
Yeah, because really one of the best parts of it's right on the second page of it, where this guy's like, "Ooh, it's an Alexander Hamilton wig. Let me look at this. Oh, look at this prop gun. I shot myself," and he falls off the boat. It's completely insane.
Yeah, he Alec Baldwined himself for that right there.
He sure did.
Yeah.
And then that's how she goes, like, "Ye old wig shop" is on the back of the wig with the address. Conveniently also, Metropolis, whatever, it goes there. There's like an old-fashioned ye old wiggy shoppy sign.
As they do. Yeah, if you're going to be selling, I feel if you're going to sell wigs, you got to commit to the bit and have a ye old wig shoppy wooden hanging sign. Yeah.
And then, she goes there. She's like, "Oh, let me try on. Oh, you mean I can take one of these wigs and let me do the Marie Antoinette. What's the worst that can happen? I get beheaded."
Yeah.
And then she goes to a party where she almost gets beheaded.
Right. If not for a giant watermelon.
Yeah, if not for a giant watermelon. And then her response to that experience is, "Let me try the Joan of Arc."
Yeah. Lois, this comic is not Lois at her brightest here.
No.
But in fairness, she's a girl reporter.
She's a girl reporter.
Yeah.
She's not even a woman reporter at this point.
She's one day will be a woman reporter. But
and then the last few pages of this comic are a confusing, muddled mess of, we got a Supergirl wig, so you'll have the powers of Supergirl, and all these like editors' notes of like, little do these thugs know that that's not actually a wig that Supergirl's wearing. The wig she's wearing is the wig that she puts on over her blonde hair. So actually, it's the other wig, and you're just like, what? Why? Who thought that this was like, oh, that's an easy story to just roll with? Like,
I love it. I I love that the way the engagement the creators of this comic had with their fans back in the day. I mean, I'm were they trying to entertain them, or did they think that their customers were complete idiots at this point? Which direction did it go, do you think?
I feel it's got to be like a mix, because they've got to be like, okay, we got to entertain these people, but keep in mind they're idiots.
I absolutely I love I this comic, this whole era is just absolutely wonderful, and I think if you have the chance, why doesn't DC just start printing current omnibuses filled with this kind of these comics? I mean,
I would love a Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane omnibus. Absolutely, I would pick that. They're finally starting to pump some of these out. They just did the Silver Age Wonder Woman omnibus, which is out now, where we got introduced to Wonder Tot.
Yeah.
And this summer, we're finally getting the Silver Age Batman omnibus, Volume 1, which is going to have the first Batwoman. And when they started doing all, and then Vicky Vale comes back. It's all their efforts to try to make him not gay. They're like, just keep throwing women at Bruce.
Yeah.
And but to give people some perspective on this issue of Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane came out the same month as Amazing Spider-Man 87, which starts the chain of events that lead to the death of Captain Stacy.
Yeah. Well, those are totally about the same. Yeah, it all fits. Yeah, I think the death of Captain Stacy, I may be off by a little bit. It was like a month or two off of that comic, in the same Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, where she turns herself black. I think they came out either the same month or within a couple months of each other.
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely were just around that same point. Yeah.
Well, we should review that. By the way, I read that issue recently, and that is, that people have talked about how offensive that comic is. If you read it, it's absolutely insane, because she's basically trying to see if Superman will marry her. That's
yeah. If she was black, yeah, no, that's an insane comic.
Yeah, that's the entire drive of this comic, to see if Superman will marry her if she's black. That is, and there's like, it's a man's business. Anyway, we'll have to do that another. Joe, thank you very much for going into the time Lois almost married Satan.
No, it's no problem at all. I'm more than happy to. We'll have to dive into some other ones like this, because the Perry White with the magic cigar, that was a great one.
Mm-hmm.
These are fun comics. Not like, it's like all this shit's happening over there, and then over at Marvel, they're like, oh no, Harry's addicted to heroin again, and it's great.
I think this stuff, honestly, this stuff is the perfect antidote to, if you are frustrated with current comics and some of the things you do, you just got to go read some of this stuff.
Absolutely. And unlike heroin, you can't OD on this. So
yeah, well, yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Probably not. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thank you.